Let's talk about the power of clarity. With clarity, you have direction, you have purpose. With clarity, you also build confidence. This clarity piece is so significant, especially as we begin 2022, because so many folks are confused, so many are unsure, so many are uncertain of the next steps that they need to take in order to live their best lives, right? And so this clarity piece is so important, and moving with intention is significant if we're going to get anywhere, right? If we're going to get any type of clarity so that we can finally have direction, so we can finally have this sense of purpose, and we can have the confidence and gravitas and what I like to call badassery in order to get to the next level in our lives. But when we are unclear, we begin to enter what I like to call the black hole, because we overthink, we overanalyze, we go back and forth with decisions, we are frustrated, we create anxiety for ourselves, and we just kind of operate in this fog, right? We operate in this fog where it's so hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel because we are so unclear on what it is that we want to do. Who do we want to be? And why do we want to do that? And why do we want to be that? And why do we want to start a business? And why do we want to make money? What does that number mean to me? So I want to break this down today in this quick live. So tap in, let me know where you are tuning in from. Well, I put this comment real quick because I want you guys to know that I have this free training in the link in my bio that I want to make sure you guys take advantage of while we are here chit-chatting. So let's talk about clarity. By the way, guys, just so you know, clarity is my word for 2022. It is my word for 2022 because I, like many of you, last year was in this funk, was kind of unsure about next steps, what I was going to do next, how I was going to get there. I lost a lot of money, and I was like, all right, V, well, what are you going to do? Shout out to Arizona. I see you in the check-in. And I was like, all right, V, well, what are you going to do? And the way that I got clarity is I got quiet. I got real quiet with myself, and I really started to write. I started to write down everything that I wanted with no filter, no edits, just literally started writing down what it is that I wanted and why. And if I got what I wanted, how would I feel, right? What type of life would I have if I got everything that I wanted that I wrote down? And that type of brain dumping, right? Putting it all on paper, getting it out of your head and putting it down on paper really, really helps. Because when you write things down, they kind of implant something in your brain, number one. And number two, when you write things down, it helps you get clarity because it's just not doing the tango in your head, right? It's not doing the tango in your head. Did you guys know that you make over, I think the number was like 35,000 decisions a day? You make 35,000 decisions a day, right? So if you're making all those decisions a day, and on top of that, trying to figure out what next steps you're going to take, you don't have the bandwidth, you don't have the brain power, right? In order to make these super important decisions about what you're going to do next in life and how are you going to get there. And so brain dumping and getting it out of your head and putting it on paper is significant because it allows you to be able to start plotting, right? It allows you to be able to start figuring out, okay, what is the next step I need to do in order to get there? What's up, everybody? Shout out to everybody in the check-in. Let me know where you're tuning in from. What's up, Glass Half Full? Love that name, by the way. So that was the first step I did. The first step I did was, all right, let's write this down. Let's get it out of my head because I'm making over 35,000 decisions a day. I need to write this down. I don't want to think about this just in my head. I need to write it down. So that was the first step. The next step was telling myself, if I didn't allow social media, Happy New Year's to you as well. Yes, million this year. Let's go. Let's go. That's the type of energy I like in the comments. What's up, Atlanta? I see you. So the next step I took after writing this stuff down was, okay, if social media wasn't influencing me, if I didn't care about what anybody had to say, what would I do? Right? That was the next thing I wrote down. What would I do if I didn't care about what anybody else had to say and I was just doing me? I was just living my best life with me in my bubble, not caring about what anybody thinks about what I want to do, right? So that was the second step. The next step was, now that I brain dumped, now that I figure out what exactly would I do if I didn't care about anybody else's opinion, the next step was, what do I need to do in order to make that a reality, right? Who do I need to talk to? What type of education do I need to get? Do I need to hire a coach to teach me how to do this? Do I need to make certain investments in my business? What type of mindset work do I need to do in order to actually commit to making this a reality, right? Because it's one thing to say it, and it's a completely another thing to do it, right? That requires a different level of responsibility and a different level of commitment versus you just talking. And I knew that this whole talking thing wasn't going to get me to where I was trying to go. I needed to be more aggressive with the actions that I was taking in order to get where I was trying to go. And so the first step was I hired a coach. I hired a business coach, and I hired someone that was doing something that I knew that I wanted to do. And he had an academy. He had students in his academy. He was teaching them how to make money. He was teaching them how to build businesses. And I was like, you know what? This is aligned with what I want to bring to the market. Hence, the birth of the Dare to Leap Academy. So the Dare to Leap Academy is my new online learning platform that works with ambitious women to help them get unstuck and pursue entrepreneurship with clarity without losing their financial security. Now, again, this clarity piece coming forward, right? Because I'm taking all my lessons, all my mistakes, all the money that I've lost, all the money that I've made, the lessons learned, the relationships, how to sell, how to pitch, how to package my offer. And I basically put that all in one database, a learning platform. And now I'm teaching women how to make the transition from corporate to entrepreneurship. But that clarity did not shine through until I did the brain dump, until I started investing, until I started working with the coach. Until I started not caring what anybody had to say. Like Victoria was going to do her. Now, you guys, right, have followed me. And for those who are new, you will start to see that I'm a pretty confident person. Like, I'm pretty confident. You know, you look at me and you be like, okay, that girl got a plan and she's going to go and she's going to execute on that plan, okay? And she's going to make it happen. And I am all of that. But in addition to all of that, I'm also human. So in addition to all of that, imposter syndrome creeps up. In addition to all of that, insecurities creep up. In addition to all of that are the questions of, can I really do this? Can I really make this happen? Can I make this dream a reality, right? And so the most confident folks that you come across all go through those type of struggles and all experience and ride that emotional roller coaster because we're human first and everything else second, right? And so it's important for you to be aware of that first of all, you're not alone, right? So if you are resonating with anything that I'm saying around having this lack of clarity, just confused, not sure about what next steps to take, you're not alone, okay? You are not alone. But what helps you get really clear, and this is why my word for 2022 is clarity. You would think after sharing my story that I've already got it clear, right? I launched the Dare to Leap Academy. I have students enrolling. You know, I have this free training that I want everybody here to tap into via the link in my bio. That's literally teaching you my top 3 secrets to make the transition from corporate to entrepreneurship. And you would think like, okay, that's the plan. Like, she's got the clarity. But I am self-aware enough to know that there's more clarity that's required, right? There's more clarity that's required. Each new level you graduate to There'll be another phase of clarity that you need to go through, right? Because you're entering a new space, right? This is something new. You're about to go outside of your comfort zone. You're about to stretch yourself mentally, right? Physically, emotionally, right? And so each new phase not only requires new responsibility and new commitment, but it requires further clarity, because you constantly need to make sure that you are training your mind to get through the fog, right? Get through the fog, get through the noise, right? Get through all the external influences that are deterring you. And a lot of you have ADD, meaning today you'll be like, oh, I'm going to launch this coaching business because I want to help people do XYZ. And then tomorrow it's, oh, I want to launch this lipstick because I just saw somebody else who has a successful lipstick brand. And so boom, I want to launch a lipstick. And then the next day you're like, you know what? I actually want to put my quotes on t-shirts. So I want to launch an apparel company. And then the next day you're like, you know what? I'm really passionate about financial literacy. So I want to teach people about how to become financially free. And you constantly are on this cycle. You're like a hamster, just going in a circle, because you're constantly being influenced and your brain is going, oh, well, maybe I should do this. 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 And the easiest way for you to break through that type of congestion is for you to sit down and do the brain dump exercise that I told you about, right? Do the brain dump, right? Do the brain dump. All the ideas that you have in your head, put it on paper. Then put on paper, what would you do if you don't care what anybody else thought, right? Anybody else thought, what would you do if you were not influenced by social media? What it is that you would do. And then the next step, who do I need to talk to in order to make this reality? Who do I need to become in order to make this a reality, right? Do I need to get more disciplined? Do I need to go to sleep early and wake up early? Do I need to get on a strict schedule so that I'm actually working my 9 to 5 and also building my side hustle, right? Who do you need to become in order to live this dream life that you are destined for? We are all destined for that dream life. We are all enough to make whatever our dreams are a reality. But we have to commit to becoming to who we need to be in order to make that dream a reality, right? Which requires action, which requires real work, which requires going through the yucky stuff, which requires crying, which requires really getting an understanding of who you are and what are you good at, what are your areas of opportunity so that you can delegate things out. Like, this is real life here. This ain't a game, right? So if you're listening to me and you're serious, and you're done being frustrated, and you're done with the confusion, and you're done with just the BS, I want you to sign up for my free training via the link in my bio. It's free. It's like a 15-minute video. And this is for women who want to transition from corporate to entrepreneurship, even if they don't know what business to start and they don't want to lose their financial security. So even if you have one source of income, that video will help you get your plan going to make the transition a reality for 2022. Okay? So watch that free training. The training will also help you get clarity. Yes, Back to Basics Boutique. Do the brain dump. Do the brain dump. It is so helpful. I'm like looking around for my notebook where I did the brain dump and I cannot find it because I would show you guys. But I literally had pages and pages of what it is that I wanted to do, but who I needed to become. This is very important. Who do I need to become in order to make this happen? Now, we're all adults here, okay? We're all very aware of the bullshit that we pull, okay? We're all very aware of what we know we need to improve upon, right? Whether that's taking our ass to the gym, whether that's eating right, whether that's getting up early, whether that's committing to reading, whatever it is, we all know what we each can do to make ourselves better, right? We all have that insight. And so since we have that insight, you have to really question yourself and think, what do I need? What new habits do I need to create in order for me to be the best me? What new habits do I need to create for myself? And guys, I don't tell you anything that I don't do myself. This is an exercise that I've done to myself, and I'll share with you what were my findings. My findings were I needed to get more strict on what I put into my mouth. Right? I needed to get more strict on what I put into my mouth. That was really, really, really important. Next, I needed to get consistent on working out. Like I need to, right? I gained massive weight during the pandemic. Like I need to take my ass to the gym, right? Another thing, I needed to get more disciplined in not allowing the fact that I work from home to make me lazy, right? Don't allow that to make me lazy. Another thing that I knew that I needed to work on was I needed to stick to a routine and schedule, because when you're an entrepreneur and you have the freedom of working your own hours, it's a gift and a curse, because, you know, you can wake up one day and be like, you know what, today I'm not going to do anything, because technically you can, because nobody's micromanaging you, right? And nobody's looking over you. But every smart entrepreneur understands that when you don't put in the work, you're actually taking food off your table, right? Even if you're taking a day off, that could be a day that you're making money, right? And that's why so many entrepreneurs really struggle with this mental health thing, because we are constantly on. And so I needed to figure out what was going to be my balance. Now let's talk about the action, right? The action that I've taken. Because now that I'm self-aware and I know the things that I need to prove upon, ain't nothing gonna change unless I take action, right? Nothing's gonna change unless I take action. So what did Victoria do? Victoria signed up for a weekly boot camp class. I just went last week. You guys might have seen it on my stories. Then I almost died, right? But that's me making the commitment to my physical health, right? Doing the boot camp class every single week, right? Also, I started doing food prep. Yesterday on my stories, I took you guys along with my whole food prep journey, right? Taking action, right? Getting more disciplined. I started literally putting every single thing that I need to do every day on my calendar and sticking to the script. Sticking to the script. So if a phone call comes in while I'm working on something, sorry, can't answer that call right now. I'm busy. I'm sticking to the script, right? So that's another thing that I did. And then lastly, the other thing that I did to get more disciplined in having a routine and a schedule was I said to myself, all right, V, if you're going to work your own hours, right? Because that's one of the perks of entrepreneurship, is that you don't have to work 9 to 5. You can work whenever you want. If you're going to work your own hours and you're not going to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, then that means that if you want to wake up at 10 a.m. and you don't get to work till 11 a.m., that means you're working until 9 p.m., 11 p.m., right? You have to do the work. So you're able to wake up whenever you want. You're able to manage your schedule however you want, but you cannot get lazy and you have to commit to doing the work. So those are prime examples, guys, of literally what's going down in real time in my business, in my life. And that's how structured you need to be, right? That's how structured you need to be. And that's how much of a routine you need to have, because that's going to help you with the clarity piece, is if you get into routine, right? And my motto for life right now, which was also the biggest lesson that I've learned over the last 2 years, was focus on the mission and not your feelings. Focus on the mission and not your feelings. All right? By the way, who's buying a badge in here? I know there's like this new thing on Instagram where they created that little heart thing at the bottom, which was really interesting. So now when you go live, automatically your badges are on. So if you vibing with what I'm dropping, if you picking up what I'm putting down, that badge thingy is there. So that little heart thing at the bottom. So those are real life examples that I've given you that you can start implementing in your life right away that will help you get the clarity. Now, the final thing I'll say on this, and then I'm going to hop. By the way, guys, I'm hosting a Clubhouse room today at 2:55 p.m. Eastern. The link is in my stories. Join the Clubhouse room discussion today. We're talking about the Great Resignation, being unfulfilled, tired, and just plain old fed up. I have some amazing statistics to share with you, such as the fact that 40% of the workforce is planning to quit their jobs in February 2022, which is like next month. And so how are you going to pivot? What are your options? That's what we're going to be talking about in the Clubhouse room. So let's get into it. Back to Back Boutique. This is my first time watching you and not just listening on Clubhouse. Yes, love my Clubhouse familia. What's up? So the final thing that I want to say on this, and then I got to wrap it up. You guys can come join me over on Clubhouse, 2:55 p.m. Eastern. That link is in my bio. The final thing that I'll say on this clarity piece is, don't be scared to drop a bag on somebody who can help you get the clarity. Don't be afraid to drop a bag on somebody who can hold you accountable. Don't be afraid to drop the bag on somebody who can give you a roadmap, step-by-step process of how to get from point A, B, C, all the way through Z. Drop the bag. Last year, I spent over $20,000 in my business because I'm serious about mine, right? I'm serious about mine. And you can't expect anybody else to invest in you, to buy your products, to buy your services, if you're not investing in yourself. I remember I came across a corporate sponsor one year, and I was pitching to them this program and how I wanted them to sponsor the program. And he straight up asked me, he said, you know what, V, this all sounds great, but can I ask you, how much have you invested in this program yourself? Of your own money, how much you have invested? And I was dumbfounded because I was like, none. And he said to me, he said, well, you know what? How do you expect me to believe in this program and invest my money in this program when you yourself are not investing any money in this program? And that stuck with me. And that shit was on point. And that's why God puts people like that in your life, for you to like wake up, pay attention, get with the program, right? And it was one of those moments. And I was like, wow, this is so spot on. And from that moment on is when I started getting very serious about investing in myself, investing in my business, and making shit happen. Because I can't expect anybody else to invest in what I'm putting out there if I'm not investing myself. So drop the bag, y'all. Drop the bag. Forgo the vacation, forgo the bag, forgo the shoes, and invest in something that's actually going to have you elevate. That's going to help you evolve. That's going to help you get to a bigger bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, all that money that I invested in my business last year, by the way, guys, I've already got back. And we're 2 weeks into 2022? I've already made it back. Right? Because I made an investment to learn what I needed to learn fast to help me commit, get my mindset right? And now is go time. Now is execution time. And I've already made the return on my investment back and more, right? I've already made that and more. And that's how you need to think about these investments that you make in courses and coaches. They work. Don't get me wrong, there's scammers out there. And I actually just did a funny reel on this the other day. Do your homework, do your due diligence. But they do work. They work. I'm a student of one. It works. The Dare to Leap Academy is born because I went through a training. I hired a coach to show me, how do I put together this academy? How do I record the modules? How do I put together this learning platform? What is the sales psychology that I need to understand in order to get women to invest in this program? Right? I knew that I needed to drop that bag to make now my own bag. So they work. All right? They work. So I want you to get really serious and intentional about what are you going to do to get this clarity that you need. And how much are you willing to invest in yourself to get to the next level? How much do you really want it? Are you just going to do more talking this year? You know, one of the questions that I ask every woman that watches this training that I have linked in my bio, guys, you know, after they watch the training, they book a magic call and we talk about their business. And one of the questions that I ask each of them is, if we were having this conversation a year from now, what would you regret not doing? If we were having this conversation a year from now, what would you regret not doing? And their answers are always around, I didn't take action. I didn't commit to what I said I was going to do. I didn't invest in myself. I didn't, make this business dream a reality. I didn't launch that offer. I didn't increase my prices, right? And I asked that question because I wanted to set in that every time you delay on making a decision, every time you allow uncertainty to deter you, you miss out on the opportunity to up level. You miss out on the opportunity to not have regrets, right? You miss out on the opportunity to not take action, because when we're confused, we don't act. And when we allow our confusion to deter us and to influence the decisions that we make in life, we don't move at all, right? We become stagnant. And so that's what I wanted to drop on you guys today. I hope this was helpful. Do the brain dump. It's an incredible exercise. And if you're just joining and you missed, don't worry. I'll post this replay on my feed so you guys can tap in. Make sure to watch the free training via the link in my bio. Watch the training. Sign up for the magic call. Let's get on the phone and let's get you enrolled in the Dare to Leap Academy. Enjoy the rest of the week, guys. Oh, and see me on Clubhouse, 2:55 p.m. Eastern right now. Link is in my stories. See you there. Bye, guys.